Carlie Hanson was one of our very, very first interviews, and her story is absolutely surreal. She went from working at a fast food restaurant less than a year ago to being signed by Warner Brother Records and being managed by Troye Sivan's manager. It's surreal.
Yes, and she took a chance, and it paid off. And thank you so much to Bobby over at Warner Brother Records who took a chance on us.
And thanks to Dani for letting us borrow your car. We had a chance to do our podcast inside Dani's Mercedes because the venue was quite loud.
Yes. And before this, we were able to catch her performance. And one word to describe it is sexy.
She crushed it. It was amazing. So thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Dani.
Thank you, Carlie.
Thank you, Carlie. We're bringing it backwards with Carlie Hanson.
Carlie Hanson here, hanging with my good old buddies here. Lasicki.
Hey, you said it right. That's impressive.
Lasicki.
Night shot. This is awesome.
Oh my god.
This is quite, yeah.
I'm with the Lasicki.
We're inside a car. This is awesome. I love this. Okay, this is... Okay, so essentially we're going to talk about how you went from...
Whoa, you have a podcast voice.
Do I?
Yeah.
Awesome.
You literally just like brought it out right there.
Oh,
Like,
sorry.
no, but like you really do though.
Hello, everybody.
Whoa,
So
okay, sorry.
we're going to talk about how you went from working at McDonald's and now you're playing sold-out shows and you're on Taylor Swift's like Spotify list and all that other good stuff. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Wisconsin, is that correct?
Good old Wisco, baby.
How is that?
It's not too exciting. I mean, I bet you heard me on stage talking about cheese and beer. Did you hear that part? I was like, yeah. Cheese, beer. So like that's really the only thing that goes on there is like eating cheese and drinking beer. Yeah, like bars.
And beer cheese.
And beer cheese. There's like beer cheese soup at the gas stations.
Gosh.
Like no. It was pretty boring. Like you had to find things to do. Like you had to make things to do yourself. Like I feel like that's why I got so into music as a kid, is because I was just so bored all the time. I think the town, I think it's like 40 or 50,000 total in like the area I'm in. So yeah, they're just obviously that's way different from LA, which is where I live now. But yeah, so there was just really. And like the winters were always the hardest. Like I would get a seasonal depression is a real thing. Like
I can imagine
like,
you're snowed in.
And it just makes you want to like pick up a guitar and smash it. Like it's like, which is yeah. So I don't know. Wisconsin was definitely an interesting place to grow up in, but I'm glad I grew up there because it really put me as the person I am today.
It shaped you.
Yeah, for sure.
Was that how you got into music then? It was just having to find things to do?
Yeah.
Like, how'd you start singing?
My mom told me when I was 3 years old, I sang I'm a Survivor by Destiny's Child. Like, I don't know where or when this happened, but she was like, I remember when you were 3 and we were in the car and you started singing I'm a Survivor, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, and I knew from that day forward, blah, 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 whatever. So apparently I've been singing since I was 3. But when I discovered Justin Bieber, that's when I knew, like, holy shit, that's what I want to do. When I saw his YouTube videos and just realized how young he was and how talented he was at that age, and I thought you could just get famous off posting covers on YouTube. So right when I discovered him, I would like make videos with my stupid little camcorder and then post them on YouTube, and I was like, okay, now I gotta wait for the views to go up. And like that's obviously not how it works. Like it doesn't just happen overnight. But yeah, so I just really dove into music when I found Justin Bieber. Like he was still to this day is my biggest inspiration.
Really?
Yeah.
You kind of got a leg up from YouTube, didn't you?
No, I think iHeartRadio is pretty much the reason why I'm here today, because I don't know if you know that whole story, but
let's hear it.
Okay. So like 2016, I think I was on Instagram and I saw that iHeartRadio was hosting this contest where if you posted a cover of Zayn Malik's song Pillow Talk, you could win a chance to see him in New York.
Okay,
and I'm a huge
Zayn from One Direction.
Yeah, I'm a huge like One Direction, Justin Bieber. I swear I love other types of music too, but yeah. So I was like, holy shit, I really need to meet Zayn Malik or we'll go see Zayn Malik. So I posted this cover just in my friend's car randomly. And we're in a car right now.
We are.
Randomly just posted this cover, and then like a couple days later, iHeartRadio reposted it on their Instagram, and they had a lot of followers. I don't know how many back then, but it got me a lot more buzz. And through that video, these producers had seen it, and I got connected through them because they saw the cover, and I had a YouTube channel, and they messaged me, and we ended up working together. I ended up going to Canada, like through Instagram, through this video. I got connected with these producers. Went to Canada with my mom where these producers are based, and we made my first few songs I've ever made. And then they ended up being the producers who produced Only One.
Wow.
Why Did You Lie? The two songs I did tonight. It was just, it's
so instead of YouTube, you went the Instagram route.
Instagram, yeah. So I kind of the same thing. Pretty weird now that I think about it, yeah.
Walk me through, like, did you just tell your mom, like, hey, I posted this video on the internet and now all these producers are like, how did they contact you? Were they DMing you?
Yeah, so their manager actually reached out to me, just DM'd me on Instagram, I'm pretty sure. And then we like emailed maybe or something. And then he was like, well, why don't you talk to me? Let's talk on the phone and like whatever. And me and my mom and him talked on the phone, and he was just like he seemed like a really trustworthy guy. And my mom's always been, as I said before, she's like, I knew you're going to make it from
she's your biggest advocate.
Yeah. So my mom's like a very big fan. So she was so down to like take the chance to go to Canada and work with these producers. And yeah, so it actually kind of blows my mind now that I'm like saying this all out loud. But yeah.
Oh man. I just lost my train of thought here. Yeah,
honestly,
thanks, Mom.
Thank you, Mom. I love you, Mom.
Well, what were you what were you doing while this was all going? You were just...
Yeah, so this was like 2016, this is all going on. So
yeah.
I was still working at McDonald's. I've been working at McDonald's since I was like... I started working there when I was a sophomore. Maybe?
You're not still working there, right?
Nah, does it look like I am?
I'm just kidding.
Nah, but I worked there for a year. So I was working there at the time. I was going to school, but I was in a program trying to graduate early because I just didn't like school.
Right.
And I was like, hell no, this is not what I'm trying to do. So yeah, I was going to school, working at McDonald's, and after the first few sessions with the producers, they're called House of Wolf, by the way. With House of Wolf in Canada, they ended up going to LA like 5 months later, and that must have been they went to, so me and my mom went to LA, and we worked together again. And
with the same producers from Canada.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we stayed connected, and they like really truly believed we were gonna get something out of this. So,
sure.
So we kept working, and then one of the producers invited a writer in, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I can do this. Like a writer, like I was so new to all of this. Like I had no idea how all of this worked. So fortunately, this writer comes in, Dale Anthony, who now is like my best friend in the whole world.
Okay.
He's an executive producer on all my stuff now. And
rad.
So he came into the session. I was obviously like really like shy at first. I was like, oh my god, this dude's from LA. Like I'm really scared, whatever. But we ended up really hitting it off, and we made Why Did You Lie? In California, and Only One. We made those songs together
in
LA after the Canada trip. And yeah. So and Only One is now the song that's on Taylor Swift's fucking favorite song playlist. Yeah,
that's so crazy.
So yeah, damn, you're like blowing my mind. I need to hit this jewel real quick. Oh my god, man, like
do it.
But nah, yeah, I'm just very grateful.
So
very grateful.
So when you went to Canada, did you have songs that you had already written? Like
I had a few. They weren't obviously the best because I didn't have a lot of learning experience.
Right, you were just writing. You were just writing.
Yeah, I was just writing in my room or in school whenever I was not paying attention. But yeah, and then when I met Dale, he obviously was a big hand in helping me learn like what a pre-chorus is and what a bridge is. Like I had no idea what those things were. But yeah, I had some songs written. Weren't the great. I was actually listening to one today. That's really weird. Wow, this is so weird. I was listening to an old song today that I completely wrote by myself, and it was just complete shit. Like I've come.
I bet it wasn't that bad.
Thank you. I've come a long way though. Yeah, for sure.
That's so. When you wrote those first songs, what were you recording them on? Was that in Canada,
No,
or you were
so
just...
I didn't record them or anything. I was just writing in my notebook.
Oh, you were just reading them?
Yeah. So I was just and then when I went to Canada and I had these melodies like in my head and like recorded on my phone kind of, but I didn't know. It ended up working out, but yeah.
Because you had the structure.
I had the structure and I kind of had the melodies, but it was really just like rapping. It was like this is everything I want, gotta get in. Like it was really weird. Like I didn't know how to do melodies. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah, he kind of helped you put the hook together.
Yeah. The producers were very helpful with all that.
So from Canada, you go to Los Angeles, and you're currently living in LA now.
Yep.
And the same producers from Canada take you to LA.
Yes.
How do you get picked up by a label? And like, how does that all, did that happen in LA, or were you already signed to a label?
So no, I have only 2 months ago I signed to Warner. So I've been independent this whole time. Yeah. So after the LA thing, I met Dale. And then Dale introduced me to one of his friends, Brett, who is also named Leland. His artist name is Leland. He's a songwriter for Troye Sivan.
Sure.
Selena Gomez, a number of people I can't think. But
a number of massive artists.
Just cool ass fucking people.
Right.
So he introduced me to Brett, and now Dale and Brett are my executive producers on my project. So they then introduced me to Dani, my manager now.
Okay, yeah.
So
Dani, whose car we're sitting in.
Yes, we are sitting in Dani's car. Shout out Dani, you got a sick car. So Dani all three of them actually were the big reason why. Like after meeting Brett and meeting Dani, I think I had graduated by this time, and I'm so bad with time, but I'm pretty sure I graduated by this time, and I ended up going out to LA, back and forth from Wisconsin to LA, and staying on their couches, and staying at Dale's, staying at Brett's, staying at Dani's, just bouncing back and forth and doing sessions all the time.
Okay.
So I was just going into sessions with a number of different producers and writers, and finding my core group that I loved. And after that, right now I think I have over 120 songs total.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think I have I don't know if I'm supposed to tell people that, but yeah, I have 120 songs. So yeah, I was just constantly writing, and then we just picked out the ones that we knew were we're good.
Fire.
We just started releasing them, and that's when the only one started getting fucking hype, and then just got more buzz, and yeah, I've just been constantly growing since.
So when did you perform live for the first time?
On my last birthday, May 18th, 2018.
Wow.
I turned 18.
And you performed on your 18th birthday?
Yes. Yeah. And
Tara's way big with numbers that all.
Crazy?
Her
It's
birthday's
golden.
10-10.
Whoa.
So she's all about double digit numbers like that.
Yeah. I thought it May 18th, 2018. I turned 18. That's a golden.
Yeah.
So it was a big day. So I can really never forget my first show.
Where did you play at?
I played at the Mint in LA.
Okay.
And my family came out. My best friend came out. Troye actually came to the show with his family, and yeah, it was just really. I just remember just feeling so this is so unreal, and it's so funny now because I'm playing a room of 1,000 people, and this was 50 people or 100 people or something.
The show had people lined up around the whole block. It was crazy,
super crazy, and it hasn't even been a full year since then.
Oh my, yeah, that's insane.
So fucking.
Didn't
crazy.
you toured with Troye Sivan? Didn't you?
Yeah.
So you met him
through Dani. Dani also manages Troye.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where did you tour with him?
We toured all over the U.S. I can't fucking remember.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, we toured a lot of places.
So was that your first real experience playing? So you went from Mint to 50 people.
Yes, and then
touring with Troye Sivan.
Before the Troye tour, I went on tour with Jeremy Zucker.
Okay.
And that was just smaller venues. So I was I kind of went from small venues to kind of bigger venues to big ass theaters with Troye.
Sure.
And like, which was kind of good, to be honest. I like did it step by step.
Yeah,
kinda.
yeah.
But yeah, and then yeah, Troye.
Yeah, that's.
Troye, that was like pride every night. Like
I could imagine.
Super. The sweetest fans. Like just yeah, really fun.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So then, okay. So it was that tour was after you signed with Warner, or you just signed with Warner?
No.
That was all. You're still on independent.
Still
You-
riding, baby.
Yeah. So you get just off of the buzz, you pick up a manager, you pick up 2 amazing producer writers.
Yeah.
And did they help you in the process of signing with Warner Brothers, or how
for
did
sure.
that all happen?
Well, after I had a number of songs that I was confident about, me and Dani, we took trips to New York to meet with different labels. We were meeting with the labels in LA, and I think I liked Warner the best just because they had this family sort of kind of vibe that I liked. I just knew they were the right fit for me because of how they're just very genuine and just very trustworthy, and they just really seemed like the right fit. And yeah.
So were these labels like courting you, and like what was the craziest thing that they tried to do to get you signed?
The craziest thing that happened, Capitol flew me out to LA.
Okay.
So like way in the beginning, like right when I met Dani. Actually, before I even met Dani. Wait. No, when I met Dani. Sorry, I'm so fucking bad with time. But,
It's okay.
But Capitol flew me out, put me and my mom up in this crazy ass hotel. It was like people like actually carrying our bags to our room, and like we had to like tip them and shit. Like it was like, what the fuck? This is no Best Western anymore. But yeah, they did that. But that's like the biggest thing a label's done is fly me out and put me in a hotel.
And you were living in Wisconsin at the time?
Yeah, I was still in Wisconsin. So I moved to LA when I was almost turning 18. I was like 17.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I got my own place when I turned 18. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, when did the Taylor Swift thing happen? Was that recent?
That was when I don't know the fucking exact date, but I know it was not too long after Only One came out.
Okay.
Which was whenever.
Yeah,
it was.
not that long ago.
Yeah,
but before you got picked up by a label.
Yeah.
So you released a song, and how does she get a hold of it? Like how
Honestly, bro, I'm still wondering that same
Really?
thing. Like, I don't know. I really don't even know. I think it's because the song I got on Today's Top Hits.
Okay.
Which is a pretty fucking big playlist.
Right.
And I was in shock from that. And then Dani calls me up, like, whatever, a couple days later, and she's like, Carlie, are you sitting down? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, Taylor Swift. And I'm like, okay, here we go. Yeah, this is a lie. Taylor Swift added Only One to her favorite songs playlist. And I was like, right, Dani.
Yeah.
Like, to this day, still, I don't believe she's actually listened to the song. Like, I don't believe she listened to it or actually. Like, I bet somebody on her team just put it in there.
She doesn't seem like the type that wouldn't listen. You know what I mean?
Right, but
she's very
still, though, it's so.
She seems so personable. Like,
Right.
that is crazy.
Gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, same.
I couldn't even fathom that. Like,
No, and I went and saw her perform in LA on her Reputation tour, and I was just like staring at her, and I was like, "You listen to my song."
which day did you go? Did you go the day
I went
Troye
to-
Sivan came out?
Yeah, I actually did.
We were there too.
Hey, yes, that was-
At the
dude,
Rose Bowl?
Yes, that show, that production, like everything about her show is just huge. Like that show blew my mind.
Did you get a chance? You didn't get to meet her then?
Nah, I didn't. I don't want to. I'm too scared.
Really?
I'll literally like shit my pants. Yeah.
If she wanted to hang out with you,
I could do it,
but
I could
you're
do it,
just
but I'd
like,
be like, bro, you're not real.
the same thing as like if Justin. Have you met Justin Bieber?
Don't even. No, I can't even think of that. Like, I don't. It's not even because like he's cute and everything, and like really amazing, and like has great eyes and like beautiful hair and like
Washboard abs.
yeah. It's not because of that, but sorry, what were you talking about? I'm kidding. But no, it's not even because of that. It's because of how much I looked up to him as a little girl. Like
Right.
I really look up to this. He pretty much taught me how. Like I learned how to sing from him. Like he means the world to me. So shout out Justin. If you're listening to this, I love you.
If he's listening to this, I love him too. Do you still have your YouTube channel, that like the original one that you put out? No,
No, that's just long gone. Like
That's
the
buried in
original when I was like 11,
Right,
10, 11,
yeah.
12, hell no.
Is it just what do they call it? Unlisted?
They're private. They're I don't even know. I might have just deleted them all. But some of them might be some of them are private, but they're just super bad. Like they're just so embarrassing. Like there's one video I posted of myself dancing in my living room, and I like fall. I like eat shit. I'm like trying to like do a handstand on my face or something, and I fall, and I still posted it. Like there's a lot of just embarrassing things.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, how is your mom still like involved in like your career as far as music goes?
She's not involved in my career, but she's very aware of everything. Like we talk every day. She's still in Wisconsin. I have a little sister who's still in high school. She's 15, so my mom's still at home, like still dealing with that, unfortunately.
Right.
I wish they could be with me every tour I do and could move out to LA, which will happen eventually. But yeah, for right now, we just like keep in touch, or we talk every day, and I'll like update her. I'll send her new songs all the time.
Okay.
She'll always be honest with me, which is the best thing. Like she'll be like, I didn't really like this one. There's a lot of whatever. Like she'll always be honest with me, which is what I like. But
that's cool that she's so supportive, and like especially early on being like, hey.
Yeah.
You know, you really have
for sure. She's
something here.
Yeah, she's a big part of why I'm sitting here right now. Like, yeah, it's crazy. Some people don't have that. Some people don't have supportive parents. A lot of artists don't. So I'm very grateful to have her.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
If you weren't doing this, like, so you've never had any ambitions to do anything other than...
I mean, in the back of my mind, sometimes, like, when I'd sit in class, I'd be like, damn, what if I don't, like... I'd kind of be like, what if I don't make it?
Mm-hmm.
I would like become like a private investigator and like do a bunch of like crime shit. Like
that's
I
cool.
love on our way here to the venue tonight, me and Dani were listening to a murder podcast.
Oh, I love that stuff.
Yeah, so like I'm very into like true crime, all that stuff. So I would get into that. I would go to college. Like that word just makes me cringe. But like I would maybe do that, but that was sometimes only ever kind of in the back of my mind. I always knew like this was what I was gonna do, and
so
no one was gonna
your
stop me.
fallback career would be
A private investigator,
forensic scientist or something like that.
Anything to do with some weird shit like that. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
My wife is a super fan of Youngblood.
Dude, so am I.
I love that guy too.
Dude.
We got a chance to meet him a couple of years ago or a year ago or something, and he's just so wild and awesome in every way. And you're touring with him, aren't you, coming up?
No, I did already.
Oh, you already toured with him?
Yeah, I toured with him all around Europe.
How was that?
The UK. Oh my God, bro. I just got off that tour like 2 weeks ago. It was definitely a change going from that to this. Like his fans are just so fucking wild. Like every show, dude. There was a mosh pit, during my set for on the first song. Like there was a mosh pit for me, and it was just like shit like that happened all the time. Very surreal moments. And Youngblood, I was a fan of him. I'm a fan of him just like you guys are. Before I went on tour with him, and I like told Dani about him. I was like, yo, like you need to check this kid out. It was like right when I think he broke his ankle or something on stage, and I was like showing her videos of it.
Yeah.
And like 2 weeks later or some shit, she was like, yo, so I think you might be touring with Youngblood. And I like shit. That's when I shit my pants right there. I was like, oh my God, it's so fucking sick. And he's exactly what I thought he was gonna be. Just like this, yeah, man, what the fuck? Like, just this, like, that was such a bad invitation. But he's super, just like energetic.
Oh my God, yeah.
And he's very smart. He like is just so enthusiastic, and like he's just everything. I honestly could tour. I would tour with him for the rest of my life if
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
He's fucking sick. Yeah.
Was that the first time you've ever played outside of the States?
Yes, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Europe. Yes. Yeah, it was.
Was that different than, aside from it being Youngblood? Was that different than the American crowd?
It was different for sure. Like they were. I feel like. Well, I don't know if I've done enough shows to. I mean, Yeah, they were a little more rowdy, like a little more like, and they put their hands up, like a majority of them would always put their hands up and like always do, like there were, I don't know, here it's different. You kind of have to win people over here. Like there, they
Sure.
were just like, yeah, we're in, like already. So I don't know. I think it's cool though, the balance. Like it's good to have the different crowds. But yeah, it was fucking crazy. It was great, like great, probably the most fun I've had in my whole life.
So, do you have a record coming out soon?
Yes. So actually, a single is coming out now. Is it April? This month.
Yes, it's April.
Later this month.
Okay.
I played it tonight. I'm not going to tell you which one it is, though.
Oh.
I played it tonight, but you're going to have to take a guess which one it was. Wait, if you can guess which one it is first try, I'll tell you. Do you remember?
Is it the song about your first?
Fuck!
Oh.
It is.
That was sexy.
Yes.
What is it called?
Back in My Arms.
Back in My Arms. Because I don't think you said what song. I don't think you told.
Well, the lyrics.
Oh, right.
Right, but
you didn't listen.
Oh, I did listen.
I'm kidding. Yes, no, it's called Back in My Arms. It's a very personal one for me. But that's coming out the end of this month. And then, after that, an EP will be released.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So,
very exciting.
yes.
That's really rad.
Yes,
and
yes,
then
yes.
and the EP will come out shortly after that.
After.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
man. Woo!
Well, thank you so much for doing this. And I have just one more question for you.
Okay. Yes. No, thank you.
So, do you have any advice for aspiring artists?
Well, it's weird because the only advice I can really give people is to just be honest and be yourself, as cheesy as that is. That's really how I got here, was always just following my gut and being honest, and in everything that I do. Like, there are a lot of artists right now, especially young girls, that I see like on Instagram and listen to their music on Spotify and whatever, and they all kind of sound the same to me. Like, they don't.
Sure.
I can't really. I'm not gonna say names or anything, but
Right.
there's no individuality in a lot of them. I think Billie Eilish is a great example of somebody who's outside the box and is like really. And
look at how. Massive.
She's doing fucking great, and like, I don't know. I just think people, if you aren't self-aware, if you don't know yourself, it's going to be hard for you to be authentic in what you're trying to do, because, you know, you're just not there yet. You know what I mean? Like,
No, yeah, totally. I think the artists that really push through and break are the artists that are doing what is true to them. Like, they're not just trying to replicate something or try to be someone they're not. Or
right, and you don't want to be that. You don't want to play it safe. Like that, the music that I love, the people, the artists that I love are always, like Kurt Cobain, for example.
Sure.
Like, I have his fucking handwriting tattooed on me. Like, he is fucking the epitome of somebody who just did whatever the fuck he wanted.
Right.
Like, which is amazing. And I think the only advice I can give somebody is just be yourself and say what you want to say, and just be honest in everything you do, because that's how I got here.
That's awesome.
And I used to work at McDonald's. So look where we at now, bitch. All right, thank you so much. And bye-bye.